Okay, right. Is this thing working? Wait. Ha! Is it? Right. My dropped frames are fucking terrible, but we shall see how we go. Don't know what's wrong with my interwebs. Yeah, just please keep an eye on me. Keep an eye on that there. There may be some squirreliness going on with it. Anyway, all right. Look. We've got a thing going on. We have a thing going on. Trust me on this. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary folk of all ages, welcome to Vancouver, BC. It is 10 to 9. We're not going to talk about how I'm early and I'm back on my bullshit. Okay. All right, guys. We're gonna all right, lads, we're gonna do something different today. We're going to do something interesting. I have no specific project in mind, all right? We're going to test out a little thing, test out this. This is a bit of going to be a kind of a game we're going to play, right? And as you all know, I have nothing if not a complete font of idiot ideas. So we're gonna try something kind of cool, all right? Just in case I forget, today's flavor is cherry because I've got a feeling I'm going to need it, and I have a blackberry in reserve in case I need more. Yes, the name of the game tonight, my friends, is Will It Crochet. And this is the game where I shall let the dice decide what I am going to try to make. Now, the rules are very simple. I'm going to roll some random dice. And as you all know, I do many different styles. I have all of my personal crochet hooks here. And I also have an entire box of random shit. Ooh. Which I'll now try to point at the camera. Bits of random yarn of all different kinds, okay? It's just a lot of stuff there. Staggering amounts of random shit. So, okay, well, look, the important thing, right? We're going to roll some dice and I'm going to attempt crochet with whatever comes up, all right? Now, I have like my own personal, like, dice here, okay? And I'm going to need D10, D6, and I believe D8. And we'll use the D4 for all evens and odds. We're grand. I think I can, I'll just go ahead and leave the rest. It's like my daughter has been putting stones into my sewing box again. Good job, her. Okay. All right. So here's how this is going to work. All right. Will It Crochet. I have a bunch of post-it notes to remind me of what I'm actually rolling for. Okay. And it's really simple. We have 4 dice. We're going to roll evens or odds to decide whether I use my right hand or my left hand. We are going to use the D8 to roll for the type of yarn, the thickness of the yarn. We're going to use a D6 to roll what kind of style I'm going to run, and then we're going to use the D10 to choose what kind of hook size I use. And once I have those 4 variables set, I am going to attempt to crochet a 4-inch by 4-inch swatch. And I left my measuring tape outside. So I'm going to have to use the one that I have lying around my desk here somewhere. I have multiple measuring tapes, do not ask me why. Now, having said all that, I'm going to need that there probably in a minute. Okay. I get the feeling this is going to turn into a complete shit show, but just like, here's the first dice. We're going to see if it's even, then I'm going to use my left hand. If it's odds, I'm going to use my right hand. And I'm doing this on camera, okay, so I can't fuck it up. It is evens. I'm using my left hand. Leave that over there. Just see, here's that. So you can see there, see, I rolled a 4. Okay. Left hand. What grip am I using? D6. Using my heavy D6 here. 3, fast throw. Son of a bitch. I've been practicing it. I'm not good at it with my left, where this is going to immediately be bullshit. I just know it. Oh. Okay. D10. What hook size am I using? The D10 roll is a simple 1 to 10 millimeters. I don't have... If I roll a 10, I'm going to be in trouble because the biggest one I've got here is an 8. I don't even know where my 10s are, so that's the biggest I'm going to, even if I roll higher than that. What size am I using? 6. Okay. So my 6 millimeter hook is this one. Strong start, I have to say. This might make it a little bit easier to actually do the fast throw. Finally, the kicker. This is going to be the worst one. What weight of yarn am I using? God help us all. Or more especially help me. 7. Bulky. Okay, you know what? We've got a size 6. Okay, it's not gonna be too bad. It's not gonna be too bad. And you can see that the I'm not screwing at you guys. Those are the rules. Okay, right. So I'm using that hook. I'll throw my case over there. I need bulky yarn. Bulky yarn. What options have I got here? Let's take a look. Let's see. I don't know if that counts as bulky. It may be super bulky. You know, I don't know. And I have some of that, but I don't have enough of it, I don't think. That's absolutely not bulky. That's more of the same weight of that, but it's just kind of a bit, yeah, no, that's all just kind of random shit in the same. Good God, what else have I got? And then there's this stuff. I don't know if that's actually bulky or if it counts. I have so much of this. Now, I even know what this actually is, believe it or not. This is Loops and Threads Charisma, of which I acquired a truly staggering amount of it, and then ended up just having like a million billion fucking ends. It's all over the place. You know, okay. You know what? We're just not going to use that one. We're just not. All right. Yeah. Fuck this. I'll try and separate them out at some point. I don't think I have enough of different. Okay, I'm just gonna put that down. It's fine. Okay. Right. I will give you guys the option. I'm going to be attempting to, well, I mean, it's going to be the fast throw with my left hand. This is going to be a pretty of a shit show anyway. So we have some weirdly suspicious amount of loops and threads, something. It's fairly bulky, but I don't know if it strictly is bulky. We've got this shit, which is nylon cord, and that is absolutely bulky. And then I have whatever the fuck this is. I think it's some kind of wool, and may possibly be worked already, who knows. So yeah, I'll give you guys the option. Which one am I going to use? Why is that in pieces? Which one am I going to use to create a 4" by 4" square? Please don't ask me to run a poll, because that shit's hard and I'm legendarily not good at it. First person to call out in chat to tell me what one to use, I will use that one. I mean, someone was knitting this clearly, but like, this is the fucking problem if you're doing this kind of, like, it just felt like a motherfucker. Nice yarn, I gotta say, you know? But this is the big issue. Like, God, look at that. This is the big issue if you're doing anything at all with this kind of yarn, right? The stuff will just felt up like an absolute asshole. Yeah, just catches, and then you gotta try and frog it, and it'll, like, you know. And this is single ply as well, basically. There's just enough ply in it to kind of keep the fibers together, which means it's going to just fucking delaminate on me. All right, green one it is then. And I'll get back to dealing with whatever the fuck this nonsense is, probably sometime later. Just, like, what even is that? What even is that? It does... What kind of cast on is this horse shit? Inquiring minds on tonight. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna get into that. The OCD will take over, and then that will really be the end of me. Okay. Just to start us off with a bang, whatever is the worst. To be honest, it's probably this one. So, Dead Crone, I think you've chosen well. Because this is fucking nylon cord. You're supposed to be working this with a very large hook. This is not a very large hook. And again, it's also with my left hand. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, measuring tape. 4" by 4" swatch. We're going to do this shit. Slip knot. And again, got to do the fast throw. And I have been practicing that shit for the week, and I'm still not very good at it with my left. My right, I could do this with any kind of yarn. I've been doing it my entire life. This shit, no. It's going to drive me nuts. I just want you to know that. Absolutely, it's going to drive me absolutely crazy. Like, so, oh Christ, we're starting off well. We're starting well. Okay, so the fast throw, okay? The fast throw is the technique which I do not teach, because basically no one other than some idiot like me is going to want to ever actually learn it, all right? It is by far the best crochet technique if you're actually doing lace, okay? It is just, like, it's phenomenally good at that kind of thing. It is it's kind of slow, but the precision is incredible. Okay. And I can do it like in my sleep with my right hand. It is the first crochet style I ever learned, right? Can I do it with my left? Not really. So this is going to be the most awkward stream of me attempting to crochet in a style that I'm really bad at with a hook, which is way too small. Motherfucker. Relying on nothing but my experience of crochet to do an entire 4" by 4" swatch. Fuck you all. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. I'm going to get through this. I swear to God, we're going to get through this. I never do starting chains with my left, okay? But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do this shit with my left no matter how much I hate it. Because I'm committed to this half-assed idiocy. And I just, you know, no matter how fucking annoying it's going to be. It's a workout, I'll tell you that much. I'm just, yeah. It's going to be whatever it is. We're going to do the thing and hope it doesn't make me want to kill myself. It just like make me want to kill all of you. Christ. Okay, hold on. I do actually need to measure this out because again, 4" by 4" swatch is the standard kind of thing. There we go. That's not 4 inches, but one more is going to be like one more stitch or something, I guess. FYI, this is a free measuring tape I got from the guys who fixed my car, after I ran it into a pole. Nice people. Yep. Okay. All right. Come on. Do the thing. Now, I don't even know if anyone's ever actually interested in the mechanics of how to make this shit go, because like the big problem with the fast throw is that it is just not a style that is done by anybody in a normal frame of reference, because learning it is such a pain in the bollocks. I do it because I learned it at the age of 8. It's just it's not even great for the brain. Fuck, it's just annoying. Can I do yeah, you know what, I'm gonna do one more just because I'm not sure how the chain itself is gonna work up. I don't know whether it's great for the brain, okay? It's just more annoying than anything else. Like, it's just like I definitely need to practice like this particular style with my left, but probably not like this on something, so because I'm gonna keep, you see, look at that, I keep losing the hook. Just like this is going to look like someone who's just learning crochet, because that's effectively what I'm doing, you know. Ah, fucker. Yeah, no, that's going to be all right. Okay, double crochets. I swear to God, I can do this. I can do this. We've practiced this. We have practiced this. We've been training for this moment, no matter how handicapped we are. It's just like, what's the thing with golf? Okay, golf is a handicap. Is that kind of a thing? Is like, I don't know. I'm trying to remember what that is. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, come on. We're just well, doing and trying things you don't do regularly is good for your brain. I mean, yeah, okay, that's true. I don't know if this is good for my fingers though. Like, motherfucker, get through. Like, see, the problem is always that this particular yarn, like, it is cute. I have to shut up. No, so the problem with this, okay, is that like this is definitely the kind of yarn it's not something that you would do on a regular basis. Working this kind of yarn that is really not something you would ever want to do with the throw anyway. Okay, throwing is particularly good for lace, but it's really kind of sucky for stuff to do like this because the yarn is just too thick, and the thickness of the yarn means it's much harder to actually make the throw. Like the precision that you normally get out of this with like if you're using very thin yarn and you're doing something like lace is entirely lost just because the yarn itself is so fucking bulky. It's like there's no reason to do it. like the throwing styles, like the simplified throw could be used for anything. It's very basic, but the fast throw is very much like it is a very kind of specialized kind of thing. Works phenomenal if you need high precision and high control over the tension. Does it work well for doing bulky shit with a hook that is clearly too fucking small for these loops? No, doesn't work. A great person with a speaker. I wish. Fuck you. Just. Ah. So, fun fact, all right? You dickhead! You're gonna get my. Go away! You're gonna get me copyright strike, you asshole! Just. Go! KK, I'm blaming you for that. I'm just telling you. Also, someone should probably clip it. If I get copyright struck for this, I'm gonna fucking blame all you guys. Okay. We're gonna do the thing. My frame drops are still ridiculous, and I'm absolutely blaming Quaid there. Oh, come on. Oh, fuck at this. Okay, we're gonna do this. All right. So it's probably something kind of interesting, right? But if you're ever stuck in this position where you need to work something that's clearly with the wrong size hook, okay, that is the thing that you're basically dealing with here. Working yarn with the wrong size hook, all right? And basically people just usually say, just don't do it, okay? Not a thing you should be doing in a normal frame of reference. And frankly, you're just occasionally going to be working something with the wrong size hook, and it's probably good that, you're doing something intentionally or whatever. And it's probably good that you should get to grips with that. But if you're doing something like this, fucker, then you do have to kind of use a slightly different kind of way of just pushing the hook in and through. Like, you're going to get high tension anyway, especially if you're using a hook that's too small for the yarn. The big issue is actually making the pull, and you cannot make the pull directly. You literally have to rotate the hook. You have to rotate the hook inwards to kind of like to make as much use of the grabbing power of the point as much as possible. And it just, like, I'm going to show, like, if here, okay, I'll do the throw. And at this point, if I pull it straight down, I could actually risk losing it, maybe. But if you pull it and then pull it like that, then yeah. God damn it, I keep dropping it. Tomorrow for Halloween, my entire lab is going to be Pokemon for our building Halloween costume contest folder. We're going to walk in with a speaker playing the Pokemon themes. And together, my manager is Ash, the protagonist, a 10-year-old boy. That is brilliant. And the only question I have is, what Pokemon are you going to be? And then tell me why it's Jigglypuff. Was I talking to you before about the Buck 50 right chat? Oh yeah, Quaid, just talk a bit about that. For anyone else who doesn't know, like, October 1st is the start of NaNoWriMo, the National Novel Writers Month, and I was thinking about doing it, but I've realised, I've basically come to my senses and realised that I can't do that. That would be ridiculous. I don't think that would work well, considering everything else I am trying to do. Not the least of which is trying to get ready for a craft fair. It's insane. But yeah, the Buck 50 thing is a less like a less intense version of NaNoWriMo. Or just to get you writing, you know. It's been going not great. Oh, you are. That's what I said, Jigglypuff. Because I thought it was obvious. Why, if you had to choose, all right, what Pokemon you're going to be in a costume thing, I was like, of course you'd want to be Jigglypuff. Because I'd want to be Jigglypuff because it'd be funny. You'd walk in as a giant pink ball, pretend to be Kirby all night. Clearly, that was the best option. Why is this all twisted up? Are you going to untwist for me? There we go. Spinning crochet hooks only on this channel. Is that going to untwist more? Why is it all twisty anyway? Like, come on. I was going to be Clefairy, but I couldn't get my hand up. Clefairy is weak. Jigglypuff is where it's at. Okay. All right. We've got one row. One row. One row. All right. It's not quite 4 inches, but you know what? It's close enough. So fuck it. And now, oh Christ, I need to do another like 3. May I be saved from this idiocy. Why? Why did I decide this was a good idea? I shouldn't have. I should have just, I should have just, decided, like, you know what? Like, there's easier things to do with my time rather than torturing myself with this fucking stuff. Although, in fairness, like, it could have been worse. I could have gotten thumbless. And I'm pretty sure that would have ended me because I don't think I have enough dexterity in my fingers, nor strength for that matter, to pull off thumbless with this combination. Christ. Okay, come on. This is just the hook is tensioned too tight, and there's not really a whole lot you can do about that in this kind of yarn because it's just so fucking thick. It can't be helped. Like the hook is too small, the yarn is too chunky, and the style is not just, it's just not going to be possible. Like, and I'm pretty sure that for what it's worth, like my tension is literally all over the place here. Like it's going to suck. But we're committed, like I said. If I decide that I'm going to do some silly shit, then by all the gods, I am going to be committed to my silly shit. Oh, fuck's sake. Try to write 150 words a day for the month. Remember, miss a day, no stresses, no making up for lost days. Yeah, there you go. Charmander. Come on. Well, I mean, so here's the thing. I just thought it would be kind of funny, okay? And I was trying to think of the funny stuff to do for TikTok. And so there's a guy that follows on TikTok who's, by the way, fucking hilarious. And he does a thing called Roll for Sandwich, all right? I think his name is, I want to say Adventures in Arabia or something like that. I don't know. Look, anyway, look him up. Look for Roll for Sandwich. He is fucking hilarious, all right? And I think he's just the best. And Roll for Sandwich is hilarious. It's like he literally rolls dice to determine what he's going to hand for lunch, and he lets the dice choose like what's his main, what's his cheese, what's like the bread going to be, and then like what sauce he's going to put on it. And he gets like crazy ass combinations, but he commits to actually eating. First of all, no matter what he gets, he eats the whole fucking sandwich. Okay, and like, and then he comments on like basically what rates it out of 10 like as a sandwich, like is it a good sandwich, is it a shitty sandwich, like that kind of thing. And then he names it, and the names are my favorite part because I love that kind of idiot, like that kind of absurd imagination. It's like it's so funny. Oh yeah, goddamn. So this is actually kind of a fun factor, right? And I might nearly do it with this yarn because it is bulky enough to actually work it. Take a look about like whether the hand switching style that I encountered is actually come on, is actually viable, like as a method of working bulky yarn. All right. Now, I don't think this is something that people have kind of done a whole lot of consideration about, but it's definitely a consideration for me anyway, because I obviously keep watching how people do crochet. Roll for Sandwich is a second Google hit for Roll for. Oh yeah. He's just look, he's so funny. He is so fucking funny. He's a D&D player or something like that. Got this idea and decided to start making sandwiches and just like it's crazy. He's got really fun dice as well, which is lovely. But anyway, like bulky yarn, I think requires different kind of approaches and somewhat different styles of working, and like I think the people got to give some consideration to that, about like like what kind of style really works for the yarn or whatever that you decide to work with. Because I do know of another lady, whatever, who does a lot of amigurumi, and she has an entirely wait no, it's not the amigurumi lady I'm thinking of. There's another crocheter who she just does scarves right now. She's really just learning, and she does like blanket yarn and makes a very kind of simple single crochet scarf. Okay. And the style that she effectively taught herself is a very simplified one. I'm not going to do it now. Obviously, I'm committed to this, but her style is very simplified. you can't even call it knife grip, okay? Because she doesn't even hold tension. It's like knife grip without the tension, okay? And like it's not something that I would really recommend because I generally do need that you need to hold like the stitches somewhere. And when I'm teaching like the simplified throwing, which is probably the closest thing to this, I do make sure that, to show that like you need to hold the yarn while you're pulling the hook or whatever, you do in this exact way. Now you don't actually hold tension directly, but it's still a method of keeping the yarn in place before you actually decide to work it. Okay. And I could demonstrate that, but just not right now because this fucking yarn is here and you've got a shaking fist angrily at everything. Yeah. But it's like once you know, like look at this. This is like so fucking suboptimal. Yeah. If I had to go to a party as a Pokemon, I'd go as Jigglypuff. Pokemon the cat Totex. Actually, you know what? Rather than me blathering on about crochet, that's a far more interesting question. If you're going to go to a party, what Pokemon would you go to? And we already know that KK is going as Jigglypuff, so now then what is the answer for everybody else? I don't know who I'd go as. I don't know if there's any Pokemon that I'm like, I don't know, attached to. And also I don't think I have enough makeup to pull off, what's his face? I'm so bad with names. Mr. Mime. Yeah, there we go. I don't have enough makeup to pull them off. That's me. Can't remember my names. Sometimes not even my own. Oh, come on. Now there's a case in point, right? The normally if you're doing the fast throw, you literally slide forward to make the throw, okay? And because of the size of this yarn, you can see the loops all stuffed there. It's literally, I cannot get my hand far enough to throw comfortably, practically. It's ridiculous. Off to each this week's Andor later, friends. Okay, fine. Abandon me for Star Wars, why don't you? Come on. Yeah, and look at this. You end up having to pull the loops over just because it's so fucking tight. Come on. I just want to say for the record, I do not recommend that anybody do this because nobody should do this. This is horse shit. This is a terrible, terrible way of doing crochet, and you shouldn't do it because although it produces an object, you just like I can feel my hand getting sore. Fucking hell. All right, listen, we're getting there. I think we've got to do another 2 rows and then we're going to just do something that isn't quite so fucking painful. Oh, article about roll for sandwich. Very interesting. He stayed home dad. Oh, I heard that. Yeah. He is such a nice guy. I watched some of his other videos. Super, super nice guy. Okay. And just very it's very wholesome, just watching him going on about the sandwiches. He's really like, I don't think he really swears or anything, just it's, and I say this as someone who just like swears like a sailor basically all the time. You all know how I roll at this point. I do appreciate the old having content that means I don't need to keep my iPad or phone on silent while the kids are around. Even though I do swear too much myself. Okay, come on, we can do this. So that's the other thing as well, is that it'll slip off your thumb and slide like that. Like part of the throw, if you're doing it, is that you have to slide like that, okay, as you do the throw. And that is a lot trickier than it looks. I watched one where he made a hummus, Asiago cheddar, sauerkraut, and marshmallow fluff on multigrain. I think I saw that. He said he was interesting, I believe. Like, I can't remember the ones that are just truly disgusting are the ones that I think are the best because he's very like honest about like. The other thing is that he's analyzing the actual flavors, which I think is super interesting. Especially if you're like a chef or something. Like, I think he probably has a very refined palette, I guess. Like, in a way that I certainly would never be able to do. Like, I have like no real kind of sense of why something would taste good or whatever like that. I'm just like, it's food. Food goes in mouth, makes me not hungry, and as long as it's not, going to make me actively sick or something, I'll probably eat it. I'm the opposite of a picky eater. I'll eat almost anything that can be eaten. Or, I mean, I'll try it. Can't guarantee I'll eat a whole plate, but I'll certainly try anything. I think the only thing I've drawn the line at so far, I believe, is anything that insects or actual horse or bull testicles or whatever. Like, I'm not into that. But that said, I'm pretty sure that there's nowhere in Vancouver you could buy those to eat, so that's a bit of a that's a bit of a non-starter there. I'll try almost anything else. I had, weird thing to say, I had paneer for the first time the other day and I had no idea what it was. And I'm still not entirely sure what it is. It's something to do with, it's something in India food, and as far as I know, it's related to dairy. I don't know. I know it tasted good, whatever I had. So I'm like, and then I said, oh yeah, it's paneer. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Can I just eat this? Can I just finish it? Yay. Free lunch. Which is what that one was. Oh my fucking God. Okay. Rage of the gods brought on by crochet. Oh my God, my hand. Okay, listen, I'll tell you what, if nothing else, this is an exercise in ergonomics and how to not utterly balls up your joints doing silly shit. Take note of this, children. Class is now in session. Don't do as I do, okay? This is a terrible, terrible idea. I'm clearly making terrible decisions and you should completely ignore me. Except when I tell you to do certain, actual, sensible stuff. We're not going into that. It's fine. It's fine. Look. We're committed. Okay? Will It Crochet? I should actually just write down in the post-it notes, what are my choices right now so that I don't have to put it up on the stream or something. Maybe I should just, add it into, I don't know, put it in, a command or something? I don't know how that would work. I don't know if I'm going to do this again. I'm not sure if I can... Shit. I'm not sure if my hand will survive this shit a second time. Roll dice. Make a swatch. Now, whatever the dice tell you to do. No matter how much it fucking hurts. I need this shit in the wrong thing. Indian cottage cheese made from cow or buffalo milk curdled in an acid like lemon juice for Google. But here, okay, yeah, I guess I learned something new. I have no idea. So it's cheese of some kind. That's great. I do like me some cheese. Can you imagine me trying to do trebles, by the way, considering how much fucking issues I'm having just doing motherfucking doubles on this? We have a row and a half to go, and then I'm going to stop this and do something less idiotic. And I don't know, maybe we'll do a post-mortem of this. The other thing I was thinking about, by the way, is what can I do with all the 4x4 swatches apart from take them outside and sacrifice them to the yarn gods. I somehow managed to split the yarn, even though this is a ribbon yarn, it doesn't technically split. Oh, Christ. Okay, we can do this. Left-handed fast throw. Someday I'll be able to do this as comfortably with my left as I do with my right. Until that day, we're just going to suffer. No, I'm kidding. I'm getting better at it, trust me. But this is ridiculous. This is stupid. This is easily in the top 10 stupidest ideas I've had. And look at this. I don't understand why it keeps curling. I made a mistake buying this. I'm not going to get this again. I don't even... The fuck is this? Wait, hold on. Certificate of Appreciation. We salute the artist in you for choosing the best product. And something called information. We appreciate you writing a review on Amazon. You complete query, blib, blib, blib. It's a macrame. Okay, it's macrame. Alright, so... Oh yeah, we've just made terrible decisions all around. It's fine. See, the fun part is when I could very easily have rolled a 1mm hook doing this with my left hand. And can you imagine me attempting to do this with a 1mm hook? I would probably break the hook because this yarn is just too... It's literally just too thick. And that is, I guess, the allure or the interest in Will It Crochet, okay? Can I in fact create a 4" by 4" swatch with a 1mm hook using left-handed fast throw and yarn that's at least, wait, hang on, roughly guessing about 10 to 20 times the width of the hook. Well, no, I could probably do it eventually if I had like titanium hooks or something like that. The question is, can I do it with without, destroying my joints in the process? Because it takes just so much effort to work this fucking shit show. Like, this is absolutely it. I mean, this could be a TikTok, but I'm taking way too long to do it. That's the problem. Christ, if I'd have to like grind this out or some crap. It would. I don't know what I see. I'm not sure about the content filters on TikTok, and I'm kind of like, would they accept like, however long a TikTok is? Is it like a minute or? I'm kind of blanking. I don't know. Would they accept TikTok of like a minute, which is literally just I roll the dice and then it's me just like screaming, swearing curses for a solid like minute, and then showing whatever's the result at the end, and it's like, and I'm never doing that again. I'll never do it again. Oh Christ, come on, do this. We're almost there. I've got one more. You can cut it together. Okay, so here's the problem. All right. And the problem is this. I don't know how to do video editing. And I'm not inclined to learn because that shit's hard. I would probably be relying on Quaid, I guess, to come and do it for me. I'm just like, oh, fucking no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I did actually. I was like, did I skip a stitch? No, I didn't. And for reference, I have not had to count my stitches to make sure I've got the correct number in a very long time, which should tell you how fucking annoying this is. I don't know. I've kind of figured that swatching on bulky yarn is a bit of a pain in the bollocks anyway, and trying to do it like this does not in any way help. Fuck you. I will probably feel more charitable about doing this if, I don't know, just why? Is this something that macrame people deal with? Okay, just hold on. Is this something that macrame people have to deal with? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, so here we go. We untwist. Magic. Come on, untwist properly. Hey, there we go. So for a while there, a friend of mine had this thing, okay, where there's a GIF of a guy with the most amazing hair and a giant weird like porn star mustache, right? And he's wearing a pink t-shirt with a rainbow on it, okay? And it's literally just this GIF of him looking at the camera with a really intense expression or whatever like that. And it's some kind of children's program, I don't know. Although why someone like that would show up in a kids program, I can only assume that it was like the 80s or something. And there really were no rules back then. I know, I lived through it. And what he does, he stares at the camera, just like intense, kind of like just being profound, and he just goes, magic. And it's amazing until it's like every time I see it, I'm just like, yes, that is my soul. Magic. Okay. All right. Last row. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Who's the guy who says that? He's some asshole, and I still have no idea who he is. That's another kind of thing that I started doing with a friend of mine. It's just the two of us. When I was working in the oldie tech industry, making websites for fun and profit, okay, mostly profit. Like anytime I was called to edit something in production, which was a lot more often than you'd think, okay, me and the other dev would kind of turn to each other, or if we were on a call trying to source some shit out, and we would realize that so we're doing a thing, let's see if we can figure it out or whatever, and then like, we'd have the conversation with the PM and it will all be fine and everything like that. But then as soon as we got on a private call together to actually discuss it. The two of us were like, we're doing it live! We're doing it live! We'll get... fuck this, we're doing it! We're doing it! And I still have no idea that guy is. So is he the money guy? I don't know. My memeing is not great, which I think is a sign of my memory going in old age, because I don't know if it's obvious on the camera. Probably not. This is a shitty camera. This is the webcam on my MacBook. Look, I am an old, and a lot of the things I can't remember without looking it up on Google first, off the top of my head. And I'm bad with, names anyway. It's there's some guy who's I think it's a money guy, and he gets super animated, and I can't remember what his name is. And I think he was the guy that did it. We're doing it live. I can't remember, or maybe it was some other guy who was known. I don't know. Maybe he's like a dickhead. I'm clearly trying to distract myself from the fact that this shit is ridiculous. Okay, come on. 7 more stitches. 7 more stitches, and then I can basically swear off this yarn forever, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this. I may use it just for cords and stuff and call it good, because look, this shit. This was an awful idea. This was a terrible idea. It's like you can't even see what I'm doing, okay? Because I have to move my hands so much just to work this. And the stitches are so goddamn big, and this is the wrong crochet style to do this. Like, what would be the point? Like, oh, fuck, come on. Although, fun fact, gotta go talk to that lady who does like this, the very simplified style. I mean, you're visibly... honestly, it's mostly my hand getting to me, okay? Like, if nothing else, from this at least I can take away that it allows me to identify certain elements of like where this style can actually be an issue, And that's like, I suppose that's interesting, even though at this point I'm essentially engaging in self-harm. Fuck you. Like, it's the fact that I keep managing to split the fucking yarn, even though, like, I catch the thread. It's woven. I should not be able to split it. That's, yeah. Okay, come on. We can do this. I think there's 4 more stitches. 4 more stitches and then we're done. 4 stitches. It's even hard to actually work this part. God only knows how you do this on a major project. Like, that is how not suitable for this, this style is. It just does not really work for bulky yarn. Okay, come on. 3 stitches, and I may just have to throw this yarn in the bin. I mean, I'm going to feel bad about it, but I may do it anyway just to save myself, and just promise myself I'm never going to do it again. Christ. This, I'm not even sure if it counts as bulky yarn, because it's like, because it's so thick, Bulky is possibly not as thick as this. I don't even know. I'd have to literally go and look it up. This is going to be making, this is probably something I should be looking at, but you know what? Again, like I'm always saying, we are absolutely committed to the consequences of our terrible, terrible decisions. We're just going to continue. We've got 2 stitches left. We're going to do it, and then we're going to have a post-mortem. Literally fucking yank the loops over the hook. Motherfucker. But actually, that's interesting. I'm going to tell you that in a second. Well, I'll talk about it in a second. I'm just going to do this last thing, and then I could bind off, and then we can finally, I will probably be coherent again. And if anyone suggests, it's like, oh, that would make a cute coaster. Lots of things would make a cute coaster. This is not worth it. Not worth it. There. Oh my God, my hat. My wrist. Motherfucker. Oh, oh my God, that's sore. Ah, all right, all right. Ah, yank that shit out. We're gonna try and cut this. Try being the operative word here. I don't even know. Yeah, it just barely fits into my yarn cutter. Maybe I'll get through it. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Yarn cutter is strong. Okay, pull out the loop. I'm not even going to weave it in, but there we go. That is the first result of Will It Crochet. The answer to the question, will it crochet? Yes, but why would you do that to yourself? So it is actually 5 inches because, no, there we go. I had the thing wrong. 4.5 inches by 4 inches because the stitches are just not, they're just a little bit too wide. So because we're dealing with super bulky yarn, we cannot be exact in our measurements, apparently. Christ. Yeah, so, all right. So what does this actually produce? Okay, first of all, this is a 6mm hook. This is way, 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 way too small. Like, I always use a judgment. This has no actual instructions for what kind of hook you should use, okay? It's literally some kind of macrame cord. It is not designed for crochet. The rule of thumb that I use is that if you take this, okay, and stick the hook onto it, most or all of the yarn needs to fit underneath the point, all right? And that is the right size. If you hold it there, it should fit almost entirely underneath the hook and like underneath the point of the hook right there. And motherfucker, the top of is now wearing off. The top of the paint's wearing off. That's what it is. Okay, so if I hold this up here, now you can see that that yarn doesn't even begin to fit underneath that hook. Okay, that is way too bulky for, I don't know, I want to say anything, but you probably could work it with something much, much bigger. Like, and I would be looking at probably a 20mm hook. Something very, very big would probably be easy enough to do with this. Like, especially yarn that's that thick. And the thing about bulky yarn, okay, is that you just really can't work it, like you can't work it normally. You can't do it the way that you normally do it. Like, you just don't have, you'd need, your hands literally aren't physically that big enough. And that's a whole thing in its own right, you know. But the problem is like that particular style definitely does not work at all. That was a terrible, terrible thing. And what I did notice is that, like, first of all, this finger was just a pressure, constant pressure there because I'm pulling so hard. Because the hook is too small, your tension gets high. When that happens, shit starts to go sideways here. It's like it goes sideways in your hand as well as this. Like, now this is, look how solid that is, okay? You could literally use that as building material. And not only that, you can fold it and everything. It will hold its shape practically because it's literally just that thick. When you move the stitches, it's a bit more, how do you describe it? It acts a bit more like tinfoil. You move it to a particular place and it'll just, oh, am I here? You can see that it'll just stay, okay? Well, mostly it's not going to do it exactly right. It's the same. It acts very much like tinfoil, and it has a lot more ability to move and a lot more ability to keep its shape simply because the tension is so high in the yarn. And like, it's interesting, but the ergonomic stuff is definitely like there's knock-on effects if you have to do something at high tension. If you can't control your tension very well, you're going to find that you're going to put a lot of pressure on your hand. And I was definitely putting way too much pressure on my left hand, because the left hand in the throwing style, or whatever hand you're using for the throwing style, it does the vast bulk of the work. And this hand is the thing that's just literally just manipulating the piece or holding the piece in place so that you can be precise about where you're placing the hook. So what I found is that I got pressure here on my fingers, like right there. And then I also started to get pressure down in my wrist, all right? Less so in my actual hands, but my wrist was where I was doing a lot of the work, okay? Because I'm pulling and twisting here, and I can even feel it now when I move my wrist like that, I can feel these muscles starting to complain. As we all know, you have no actual muscles in your fingers, okay? You have tendons and all that, but obviously you can see here you'll do that, and these muscles are the ones that actually do the work of moving your fingers. So they're all just basically like spring-loaded lines with your tendons attaching up your fingers, and when you go like that, that's the muscles pulling here, okay? And obviously pulling in the back when if you want to pull them up like that. So when I was pulling like this and like holding it like that and then pulling like that and like back like this, these muscles were taking the strain, and the wrist here was taking the strain, and that is where I can feel it now, all right? And that is definitely a high tension issue, effectively. It is high tension peculiar to the throwing style, but it's probably going to be something similar, I would say, if I was doing it at very high tension like this in bulky yarn. Now, the other thing is that you saw me actually physically moving the loops, all right? And moving the loops is a kind of a thing that I've seen people who use a lot of bulky yarn, you know, like people who do like blanket yarn amigurumi. I can see them doing that. And I thought of this now because the lady who comes to the crochet group that I teach on Mondays and Wednesdays, every once in a while I see her, and she does just this simplified throw. I've got to grab that stuff. It's probably easier to work with. I just grab this for a second. Now you can see if I stick that under, you can see almost all of that just about is under the hook. So this I get away with, you know, we're going to work with this. But like, and this is only a scrap, it's going to, yeah, it'll do the job. So let's say if I'm just going to do some chains, right? And normally you'll do pen grip or knife grip or whatever and just scoop and pull, scoop and pull, scoop and pull, nice and easy. But when she does it, she doesn't actually hold tension at all, right? She goes in and then she'll loop around, okay? But then instead of like holding or anything here, she doesn't hold tension. She has it here and she pulls this up over and then like that, and then pulls these two loops up and over. Like that's an interesting style. Like it's a simplified style, okay? Like you can see if you just throw it and then you're literally just like, all you're doing is just shoving the loops over. You can see that the tension is incredibly loose because there is no tension. And I did notice this when she was working, that like her scarves, she's doing, like she does very basic kind of like a throw, like basically big squashy kind of cowl type scarves, you know? And she literally just, she blazes through them because she's so used to the way that she does it. And she makes this giant, like, you know, rectangle or whatever, seams them together, and it makes a nice kind of squashy kind of blanket yarn cowl in all these fun kind of pastel colors and everything. And that is the only thing that she makes right now. And she even asked me, like, you know, just because she had major issues with actually learning any other style, because she just could not get the dexterity or the motions or whatever to do anything else. So she just basically taught herself this. And I have talked to her about this, and I think if she's ever open to it, I'm going to start teaching her the simplified throw, because that at least you can use for every possible crochet stitch, and it's only a little modification of what she's currently doing. You know, it's definitely something that would work for her and allow her to do much more stuff, because I cannot imagine being able to do a lot of like more advanced stitches if your tension is that, you know, non-existent. It works for her, obviously, for the simple stuff right now. Is like, hopefully in the future she'll move on to something, you know, something else. I don't know. That's the thing I was thinking about anyway. This, what'll I do? Will I weave in the ends and then use it as a frisbee? I don't know. Haven't decided yet. We'll see. That took me, by the way, almost a solid fucking hour. I'm absolutely going to be swearing about that. Solid fucking hour to crochet a 4x4 swatch. Okay? I should be ashamed of myself. What kind of crocheter am I? Swear to God. I'm going to put this over here where it can't hurt anybody anymore. And I think I'm just going to, I'll take suggestions as to what, you know what. I'm going to just put it over here. And I'm going to put Frank on it. He can decide later. He's the business manager. He can figure it out. I don't know. He's the brains of the operation. All right. Now, I've got another one of these to make, so I might as well get stuck onto that. Should I change the stream title? I don't know. I paid for Yeah, that's totally what we're going to do. I'll just start stacking 4x4 inch swatches there, okay? Frank can just sleep on them. All right, hold on. Let's, how do I do this thing? Stream information. How do I do this thing without dropping frames? I have no idea. Okay, hold on. Come on, keyboard, wake up. Okay. How to making hand warmers for fun and profit. Okay. Updated stream title. Okay. He'd be like the Princess and the Pea, so many mattresses. I mean, I don't know, you know? I never actually asked whether, like, how does he feel about, I mean, he lives on my desk and he hasn't made any, you know, any significantly extravagant requests so far as to what he wants to have here, other than to constantly bug me to leave shit on it all the time. And I'm trying to get better about that. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, he's basically like Jiminy Cricket, except, you know, more effective. Okay, so here we have a lovely example of the... It is a hand warmer for a giant. No, it's a hand warmer for a guy's hand. Look, that's like, this is huge. Or if you're into really, really big, thick, floppy hand warmers, like there's so much space, and I have teeny, tiny little hands. All right. I made this one enormous for whatever reason. Like, the nice thing about these is that if you don't like this style, you can just turn it down and make a cuff here. And it's still, like, obviously this is way too big for me, you know, but it'd be nice for a dude. I don't know. I have my own hand warmers for this. Great Santa's always so warm. I should be so fucking lucky. He does not wear a single thing that I make. I asked him to kind of just eyeball this so I know how big to make something for a guy, but he will not wear these, okay? Guaranteed, he will not wear these. He wears literally nothing that I've ever made, and I've made him 3 hats, I think, at this point. I will be a lucky, lucky woman when he decides to wear something that I have made. I'm not even kidding. Like, he literally just doesn't, he's not into wearing like crocheted stuff. Same guy that I crocheted 3 different hats for, you know, just to make him a hat, because I thought, I'm a crocheter, I should totally make a hat. And like, I didn't have the sweater curse. Look, we've been married for more than 10 years and been together for almost 20 years. Again, because I'm I'm pretty sure it's not going to apply to us now. It's fine. But even still, I absolutely would not make him a sweater because he wouldn't wear the sweater. And I'm just like, I don't even want to wear, I'm not going to, you know, make something for someone who's not going to, you know, not going to use it. Do I believe? Not really, because I don't think it's a thing. I just think that, like, the sweater curse essentially just brings to the fore that maybe your relationship is not as strong as you think it is, because, like, you spend all of this time and energy making like a sweater, because obviously a sweater takes a whole lot of pain, you know, it takes so much effort to actually make a sweater, you know, crocheting or knitting or whatever. I heard it say it was only if you're not married. I don't know. I think it can apply even if you're married, but I think the principle behind the sweater curse, okay, is that a knitter or crocheter puts like their heart and soul into making this thing, okay, and then they give it to their significant other, and their significant other basically goes, and it's not appreciative of it, okay, and either doesn't wear it or kind of rejects it, and basically it brings to the fore all of these issues or whatever with their relationship, and they just like that they didn't realize that, like, well, maybe they're not, that this person is actually disrespectful of my time and effort, you know, and that's the thing that causes, you know, that to happen. And basically that is unlikely to happen between me and Quaid, because, like, A, we're married, and B, I already know he's not going to wear a sweater I make for him. I did suggest to him, you know, I'll make you a Spider-Man sweater, but I'm just like, I'm even thinking about it now going, like, I'm pretty sure he's not going to wear that, because why would he wear that? I don't know, he doesn't wear sweaters, he wears t-shirts. He lives in t-shirts. I never ever see him. You've seen him on stream. Have you ever seen him wear anything but a t-shirt? No. It's impossible to get him to wear anything else. When I heard this on a YouTube video, one of the people suggested it would be a great way to break up with someone, like swear curse them. That seems like a lot of effort to break up with someone I'm not even gonna like. Okay, let's just do a quick check here now. How many do I need? 10, 10, 15, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 30, 39. Is it a full 40? Is that what that is? Or is that the chain up? No. What? No, that's the chain. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Yeah, no, it's 40. It's 40. I can't fucking count. Right. 40 stitches. That's what we're starting with. The knitting teacher was also like, that's a lot of work and maybe just use your words. Right? That's like, yeah, just use your fucking words, man. Not hard. Oh, okay, so other random thing. I posted I posted another pattern today. Finally I got around to actually like doing the thing, which is writing up the pattern and publishing it, which I felt super happy about. Yeah, so I did that. I published another pattern. I published a pattern for a bag, and I'm super happy about it because I did the pattern for the bag. It's like, and I keep threatening to like, oh, I got to publish a blah 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 pattern, but like I actually did the thing. I sat down and figured out the PDF, and it's like, yes, super happy. Oh, I'm gonna show you because I decided I had to bring it on stream. It's fucking huge, for the record. Okay, this thing doesn't. I know it doesn't look like it's very big, but this is a super big bag. And I'm kind of wondering about it now because I'm just like, do people know? Don't people realize how big this is? This is a solid foot, okay? 12 inches all the way down. It's enormous. Enormous. And like, and 10 inches across, okay? Like, just look how big this thing is and compared to everything else. I can't even fit it all in the shot. It's so big. If I just, sorry, Frank. That's how big it is. It covers almost everything on my table. Like, the thing about it is that it's designed to be a market bag, which means it's designed to just like hold an absolute shit ton of stuff. As in, you carry your groceries around in this, okay? Like, it opens up like an accordion because of the way the handle is. And then it's got like, I'm going to just do a demonstration here, okay? And I want you to just like, I know this is going to be weird, but please just don't, just look. I can fit my entire head comfortably into this bag. Just look at this. Look at this shit. Whew. I mean, no, here's the fun thing, okay? This is it when it's open, all right? I know, it like comes all the way down to here, like it's huge, all right? So this is it when it's open, okay? Practically the maw of a great white shark, all right? It's enormous. Okay, I fit like, just so you know, I stuffed an entire beach towel into this, all right, easily. But the other cool thing about it is that if you take the handles, all right, okay, and if there's basically any stuff in it at all, you can take the handles, put them together, and just go, whoop, and it pulls it closed at the top. Because of the way the top is like, because of the way the handle goes through each side, like and it's folded here, so that as soon as you pull that handle, it snaps the top closed around whatever's inside it, okay? And it's got like a foldy bits down, and the base is literally just there to give it some kind of structure. Everything that's in it is all in just like this big ass like this corner crochet. And this cord that I'm recommending that you make it out of is actually polyester and cotton cord. So it's not going to pill. It's machine washable. It's super wearable, and it stretches so far. Well, I mean, it stretches, and then you can just like pull it back into shape. Like it's not it's meant to be someone, and like, and for the record, this is like, what? This is half a kilo of it's heavy. It's a weighty bag. Like, I was actually picking up going like, damn, this is actually kind of like, you could literally take this, whip it around your head and use it as a mace. And I can't help but feel kind of proud of that. Like, I haven't made a bag so far that you could use as a bludgeoning weapon, and I think I've almost pulled it off with this one, and I'm kind of happy about that. Just for the record. Like, yeah, I'm not going to put that in the promo material, obviously. Just like, you know, I've got standards, and I don't want to get visited. I don't want to get visited by the VPD. Yeah, but I'm just saying. Totally could use that bag to whack someone around the head. So if anyone's going to steal your bag, you're just like, ha, no, I'm going to hit you with it real hard. And if we're, oh God, and if we're lucky, it's going to be full of produce at the time. All right, where's the end? Motherfucker, did I say 40? Yes, 40 stitches. Okay. Great bag, very sturdy, can be used as a mace. Right? Yeah. That's the kind of bag that I want. Like, I think more effort should be made to create bags that can also double as like self-defense. You know? I think that's fun. Okay. All right, where are we at? I have 4, 5, 6, 7. I should probably try and keep track of this. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Counting with Cyberlab 13. Come on. Oh, come on. I'm going to just drop it now because I normally do this with my other hand. Ugh. And I've lost count. Of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I'm doing this at way too high attention. That's... Okay. Okay. All right. Let's back the bus up. I'm going to just do this the other way. Fuck it. Like, okay. Normally, if I'm doing foundation chains, okay, I'm just like, well, this is a perfect opportunity to use the fast throw with my right hand, okay, because it means that I now have one hand doing both the yarn, and left on the yarn on the right. 3, 4, yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can see like just how much quicker I am with this hand. Like, and it's not even because it's actually, you know, because the throwing style is actually good for this particular thing of doing a foundation cord or whatever. No, it's literally just because it's easier for doing like two working yarns essentially at the same time. If I'm ever doing color work, especially just with 2 colors, I will be just like, oh yeah, I'm going to have one yarn on one side being held as if I'm using traditional crochet, and the other yarn on the other side as if I'm doing the fast throw. And at that point, it is now stupidly easy to do color work of literally any kind, even crazy shit like switching colors in the middle of a stitch, which I've done on occasion. Like, lots of fun for all the family. 1, 2, 3, whoops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can see that even though I'm so used to doing this style with my right hand, I'm still occasionally losing the hook because I'll just flick and then it'll just slip. I'll just do it wrong or go too fast and the hook just slips off my thumb. It happens. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope. Okay, one more set of 10, then we're done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that concludes the boring part of the night. The one with all the counting. Okay, all right, let's do this. Now, the way that these actually work, right, is that when I do this particular style of hand warmer, all of the rows are alternating. They're alternating rows of half double crochets and triples that are worked with left and right hand alternating. And the way that I do two different ones, like this one is the one for the right hand. When I do the one for the left hand, I actually start with the opposite hand. So in this one, I start doing half doubles, but I start with my right hand doing half doubles. And that means that all the right hand does all of the half doubles and then the left hand does all of the triples. In this case, I'm going to be reversing it. So that instead of starting with that, we're going to start like this instead. We're going to start doing the half doubles with my left. And because I'm not a masochist, I'm not going to be doing the throwing style, I'm just going to be doing it normally. So 2 chains, and then we're going to try to work it and fucking fail at it. Oh, come on. So, fun fact, I actually, when I'm working my left, I find it much easier to do the pen grip with my left. My right, I just don't have the dexterity for it for whatever reason. So I end up just doing it with my left almost exclusively. And one thing I'm constantly noticing, scratching. One thing I'm really noticing a lot with this particular set of styles, the pen grip, the knife grip, anything where you have the yarn in the opposite hand from where you're working with the hook, like when you're actually looking at starting off, it is incredibly awkward because you're trying to hold tension as well as manipulate this incredibly tiny line of chains and stuff. And seeing as this is like easily the one, like everyone says, the first row is always fucking annoying, and this is probably the reason why. It's because it is just incredibly fucking annoying to do this. Like, and for the record, I never do this with my right hand. I just don't. Like, it's because it's such a pain in the bollocks. It's like anytime I'm working on something this small, I never use knife or pen with my right. I'm always using the throwing style instead. And even if I swap over, this might nearly be easier now, because I do need to practice this, bear in mind. So what I have now, when I actually want to manipulate this, is that although I'm a lot more awkward, it is a lot easier to actually reach stuff here with the hook specifically, because I'm not having, well, I mean, apart from me just being not great at this style to begin with. No, I'm terrible at it. Oh my God, River, how's it going? Oh, I haven't seen you in ages. I was even thinking about you on the Discords and everything. I was going to just tell you just to shut down that piece in the Discord because I'm just not using it, and I don't want it that kind of hanging around. Thank you so much for showing up. I haven't seen you in a while. I've just, I've been busy like you would not believe for a solid, like, I don't even know how long. It's been insane. I hope you've been doing well, as well. Yeah. I hope you're doing something fun for Halloween. If not, Pish, I don't even hardly use my side too. Oh, well. I mean, I'm not, and I feel bad about it. I use Discord really for other people, not for myself. How's the resin going? I was actually just recently talking to a lady who's like, she says that she has to stop doing resin over the winter because it's too cold. Faulty Mage, I like your username. I am making hand warmers, and because this is the particular pattern that I'm currently working on, these are, well, I mean, the name of the pattern is actually the Bracers of Ambidexterity because it requires you to work crochet using the left and the right hand. And you kind of have to be able to do both in order to make them in the pattern that you can see here. This kind of alternating half doubles and triples. And I know how to do audio Discord live shoutouts and will absolutely make yours for you so that you auto use. Oh God, yeah, I gotta ask you about that. Like, I keep looking at the fact that I still don't I don't have really any kind of decent alerts or however that works. I just don't know how to make it go. I've tried, I failed. Every time I look at it, I'm just like, I am totally lost. I need to go and get I was wondering why you look like you're struggling here. Actually, the reason I'm struggling is because this is the left-handed fast throw crochet style, and I'm just not particularly good at it. My thing is that I do every possible style of crochet plus a bunch you've probably never heard of, and I do something like, hang on, 14 or maybe no, 12 or 14 different styles depending with my left and my right hand, and I do crochet with both hands almost interchangeably. This is like one of my weaknesses. I can do knife and pen grip quite easily with both hands, but the throwing styles are a work in progress because I need to practice them more. So for my left hand, I'm just not there yet. My right hand, I can absolutely blaze it. Like I've been doing the style my entire life, so I can do the fast and slow throw with my right quite easily. I'm okay with doing the slow throw with my left. I'm not so good at doing like what this is, which is the fast throw. It's quite slow right now because this is definitely something that you would need to practice in order to get good at it. It's unfortunate, but I do need the practice. You should have seen me earlier. I was doing nothing but swear at the yarn because we made this god-awful swatch. I did a game, or played a bit of a game, and the game is Will It Crochet. And the way that Will It Crochet works is that I roll a dice to determine what size hook, what weight of yarn, what style I will use, and then whether will I use my left or my right hand. And then I attempt to crochet essentially whatever the dice come up with, okay? And this particular swatch is bulky yarn using a 6mm hook with my left hand in the fast throwing style, which I'm really not very good at. Just about do it, but I'm not great at it, you know? And it took me almost a solid hour, and a lot of that was just swearing because it was very, very difficult to work. The tension being as high as it is with bulky yarn on a hook that's too small for it is an absolute hell of a thing. So yeah, it was just ridiculous, and I definitely started to feel the effects of it afterwards because so the other thing that I'm interested in is ergonomics, and if nothing else, it's a good way to see what kind of how are your ergonomics affected by trying to work something like that. So I had a good time, not, and I did find like the effects of like where in my hand I started to see the effects of having to work at high tension for even this swatch. All right, where did I see the pressure or pain happening in my fingers because of like having to hold the hook tightly or having to pull the hook in a certain way, and like it's a good it is a good exercise, I feel, but it is absolutely not something that I would do every day because frankly that's a good way to absolutely wreck your joints. I have strong opinions about how people should do crochet simply to avoid completely shredding their hands. And it kind of starts and ends with like, you have to really make sure you're not doing any extreme motions, and you have to not have a death grip, really. That's kind of like, there's other things that you could definitely look at if someone has issues with, say, arthritis, or if they have like issues with like excessive pressure on their skin, or maybe their skin is just sensitive or something. There's all ways you can get around that. But just as a general term, yeah, you should absolutely just don't have a death grip and don't work something at tension which is clearly far too high, and it's a terrible idea, as evidenced by the fact that nearly, really did a number on my wrist. So I'm probably going to be crocheting quite a bit slower than I normally am either, even if this is like a style that I'm not hugely good at. The death grip is the worst part for some people to get out of. Yes, this is true. I'm sorry, I don't know if you actually crochet. I kind of assume that anyone who shows up in my stream either knits or crochets or just something fiber related. Yeah. Welcome. I talk a lot about crochet. A lot of other stuff. You do. Fantastic. Good to hear. I think more people should crochet. I think it's a good craft. I think it's incredibly versatile, and at the higher levels, it's like it starts to become almost like magic. You could do the most insane, silly shit with it. And I think everybody should get into that. I'm all in favor of doing absolutely silly shit with yarn. And I think a lot of people actually did get into it over the pandemic, which is certainly how I started to really get stuck into it. I've been knitting and crocheting since the age of about 8, and I am from Ireland, and back in the 80s in Ireland, because I am an old, knitting was part of the curriculum in primary school. So I essentially would have learned to knit when I was about 8, I think. And it was just taught to us in school. It was just part of like, you're 8 years old, you're female, grand, you're going to learn how to knit now. This is a vital part of your education. Tells you everything about Ireland, really. And yeah, but then I was taught to crochet by my grandmother and my godmother because the fibre arts are huge in Ireland. I've been doing it since I was about 5 or 6. That's wonderful. Oh, if you've been doing it from a very young age, I need to ask you some questions, okay? This is for the purposes of preservation and historical research. I'm also a member of the Crochet Guild of America. I'm a member of one of the online chapter called Stitchcraft, and this is very important. First of all, where did you learn? If you learned from a family member, what did just essentially what family member taught you? Then what style did you learn, and essentially where what is your historical background in it, where is your family from, do you have a strong tradition, a cultural tradition of crochet and that kind of thing. Like in my case, I was taught how to crochet and I was taught the throwing style because Irish crochet is very heavily lace based historically. There's an entire section of crochet called Irish lace. And I grew up in Limerick, which is also incredibly well known for a particular style of lace called Limerick lace. And a lot of crochet related stuff in Ireland was kind of evolved or was adjacent to knitting. And I think the style has definitely influenced it. So I learned the throwing style as an evolution of that. And that seems to be more common in places where knitting is more, is as high profile as it is. Less so in other cultures where knitting is as big as crochet itself. So this is interesting from a historical perspective for what it's worth. There's an entire there's a push right now, in my chapter anyway, to kind of start looking at trying to essentially do historical preservation of crochet, if at all possible. And me being as interested as I am in styles, it's if someone says, "Oh, you learned at a particular age," well, who did you learn it from? What was their background? Where did they learn it from? It's useful for us. My mother taught me the basics, but after that I went off on my own and learned learning. Oh, okay. Started at the age of 10 from a step grandmother. I was taught with her mirroring of the shoulder help. I was taught on granny squares and made scarves. Yeah, that's awesome. What about you, your families? Where would they have learned it from? Did they come from a particular place? Did they come from somewhere in the States? Did they come from a particular country? Anything like that? Hi, Emma. How you doing? We're talking about crochet. Yeah. I'm asking everybody, where did you learn how to crochet? Who taught you? Where did they come from? There's a push right now for historical preservation in crochet, and it's just really it's important for for finding this stuff out, for kind of trying to work out where crochet kind of came from and how it evolved. There's not a whole lot of research on that kind of stuff, which is, yeah, I'm unsure in that part and I don't talk to my folks anymore. Damn it. Okay. River, you do what style do you do? Is it just pen or knife, or it would be more, god damn it, I can't remember what you do. I can't remember the last time I was in your stream, and that's saying something. And I can't get this last stitch. What am I like? Come on. Come on. Where are you? Oh, I can do this. I can do this. Talk for a second amongst yourselves. I'll make this happen somehow. If I have to find the fucking thing. There we go. All right. We're good. We're good. She's got a bit of Irish her and resides in Florida. I knew knife grip. Yeah, yeah. It's it's a thing. It is definitely interesting, I will say that much, is that it seems that in North America, knife grip is huge. It's almost all of the styles that I will see in North America are essentially just their knife grip and their knife grip right-handed, there's maybe, I want to say 10% that would do pen grip. Maybe a bit more than that, I don't know. It's just the vast majority I see in North America is all knife grip. It definitely seems to be specifically it's a European and North American thing, knife or pen. Pen grip starts to show up far more frequently in places where like where crochet is more of the main art, like in Ireland, the UK, and in North America, definitely, I think knitting is a very much like kind of the main fiber art, and there's plenty of places in the world where crochet is the main fiber art, and in those places, it's like far more likely that you see people doing pencil for whatever reason, like, and it's just a style kind of a thing. It's a style kind of choice, I guess, but that's what they would have learned, you know, and I think Asian countries that kind of seem to split the difference. It's like they sometimes use knife, sometimes use pen, but it's usually with some kind of rather interesting modifications, you know? Oh yeah, and you're a lefty as well. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's something that's kind of like I'm eyeballing it right now, but that is not a substitute for like a decently rigorous study, you know, or survey of any kind of like a survey of like countries and or at least geolocating people on Instagram or whatever, and then just watching the reels or whatever of how they actually work. Like, I'm not. It's not going to be like exceptional. It's like, you know, it's not going to be like major scientific study, but it's better than nothing. You know, compiling that kind of stuff. Yeah. Recently, though, I've been getting wrist pain. Oh no. Oh no, you got to be so careful with that. Yeah, just don't like risk that kind of stuff. You know. I was just on earlier working on that thing or whatever because I was working at very high tension with a size 6 with a basically high tension with it because it's a hook that's far too small. And it only took doing that 4 inch by 4 inch swatch to realize that I was getting pains like in these muscles here and in the back of my wrist here. That is a major problem, right? You know, you got to be so careful of what you do. Do not push your hands, whatever you do. Pencil grip is super awkward for me. It feels like I have to do large hand movements to get it work. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a thing. Um, I think people just kind of settle into a style and kind of stick with it. Um, it just like they have their preferred style, they have their preferred thing that they make, and they just kind of like fall into that, and that's it. When you're right-handed, yeah, you gotta be, yeah, gotta be careful with that. If you're right-handed, that means you're doing a lot of the work with like if you're writing with your right hand as well. Yeah, that's tricky. Yeah, you gotta get it checked out. So, like, how many styles can you actually do? I don't know. I did actually I talked to my chapter for a little bit, and they were saying, like, you know, nobody just makes a study of different styles of doing crochet. It's just like everyone just like has their particular way of doing it, and no one really puts any kind of thought into it. You know, it's like it's really just you who's into this kind of shit. And I'm like, well, okay, I guess I'll do the things. Oh, it's my left hand, but I crochet with my right. Okay, so you're getting your drawing hand is your left hand, or you're getting pain in your left hand. Oh, okay, so you're actually so left hand, but you okay. So your right hand, but you're getting pain here, and your drawing hand is your yeah. Okay, I wonder what that could be, and that could nearly be a tension thing because it could just be if you're holding the yarn essentially under too high a tension here underneath. So it's like you so you're while you're crocheting, you're getting pain in here, like down this side. Oh, okay, that's interesting. All right, so look, here's the thing, okay? What that would suggest to me, and bearing in mind I'm not a physiotherapist, I just, look at a lot of this stuff, all right? When you see my hand doing that, okay? And you see if I pull my fingers down, that flexes here. Yeah, so if you're starting to get pain here, it's because of these muscles are being placed under stress, all right? And if I can, I'm not sure how you hold the yarn, but that would suggest that you're doing something too tight here, right? You're going to have to change how you hold tension. If you're crocheting with your right hand, and so just to see when I crochet with, because obviously I'm doing right-handed crochet right now, this is how I'm currently holding tension, but I am very loose with my tension, mostly because I've made a point of learning essentially and focusing on being loose with my tension constantly. Like I'm barely holding the yarn at all. Like even if I'm working at speed, I'm barely holding the yarn. Like I, I, I don't like to kind of shove it or whatever. But I will say that like if you are getting pain there, take a look at the tension of your yarn and adjust that first. Like start there and see if changing either how you crochet or just changing how you tension, maybe that will will improve that, you know. But if you are starting to see pain or whatever down here, like don't crochet. Or essentially don't use that style of crochet anymore. Just switch over to something else, you know. Do knitting for a while, see if the motions are different. I recently went through a nerve test, for carpal tunnel. They said it actually takes a bit to get carpal tunnel style, and that I could prevent it. I could prevent it if I stopped crafts under cane use. And the test results stated neuropathy stemming from my back to my hands, arms, legs, feet. Definitely worth talking about it. Now I'm on meds to make my appendage feel like jello. Oh my god. I mean, I remember you talking about that before, River, and I'm really glad that at least you're getting some kind of help with it, because it sounds pretty fucking sucky. I'll tell you what. My back, by the way, has been an absolute shit show for a while, but that's just more like, I'm just like, I know I'm overworking it, you know? That's entirely on me. I need to kind of just take it a little bit easier than I do, because I keep forgetting that, you know what, you're middle-aged now. You're easily middle-aged. You're getting up to being an old, and you gotta fucking lay it off. I started using compression glove on the hand. Now that's interesting, but it also could definitely help you, because that would mean that you would have extra support here. All right. Yeah. Like if you have a compression glove, that I mean, like it's either the glove itself could actually stop you from being able to close your fingers as tightly as it's like so tightly, or supports the wrist and the muscles here. So that does make sense. My goodness, I love my new med so much. I've been in this one just a week and I like it tons. Yeah, that's really good to hear. I hope that it just makes you feel like a $1,000,000. Because it's such a sucky thing to have to live with chronic pain. I've been through that now for the most of what, a year or two last year? Holy shit. It feels like longer. Not so much now, but definitely feels like longer. I don't know. Yeah. So how we're rolling lately. Yeah, so, oh god, I'm dropping the stitches all over the place. Okay. Just ignore the thing about the t-shirts, alright? Doesn't matter. Oh, I have a, wait, it's just, there's a, see, this is why I need the things here doing the following with the stuff. It's like, I don't have any alerts and everything set up because I am legendarily low tech. And I got it. It's me, Alpha Gamer, followed 1 minute ago. Thank you very much. I have no idea what your username is about, and now I'm wondering what games you play. I'm hoping that it's Elden Ring or Dark Souls, because I loves me some FromSoft. But yeah, it always makes me feel happy drunk. That sounds like the best kind. Absolute the best kind of drugs. Oh my god, what am I doing? Yeah, see, I've got to. Oh, hey, there we go. Thank you, Foley Mage. I do appreciate it. I don't have anything specific for followers, because I've because again, I'm legendarily low tech, and I rely on I rely on the kindness of other people, namely my husband, to provide me with yieldy tech, which is largely why I've got anything at all on the screen, because he helps me set it up. Yeah. Again, you would never ever. You'd never believe that I used to be a senior programmer. I swear to God, I'm not making shit up. I was a senior programmer. I was a programmer for 15 years. Have you ever heard of the website Ribbler? Oh, I have. Yeah. It's like the Ravelry, but not Ravelry or something. I don't know. I do publish my patterns on Ravelry and Etsy, and I published my third pattern today. I'm so happy for myself, and so like I did the thing, and I did the thing, and it's great, you know. I did the thing and the stuff that I've been like threatening to do and procrastinating over for a solid like 6 weeks. Yes. I don't know. I looked at Ribbler, but I don't know why I'd go to it over Ravelry. I don't know what it's kind of offering that isn't Ravelry at this stage. I suppose if it has a decent community and possibly a better app, that might be something, because and I want to say this as my professional opinion as a former senior full stack web development. Their website is a stinky pile of poo. And I honestly wish that somebody who is competent in web design gets to join their team and fix it. Yep. I heard of it recently. I saved like 50 free patterns on my wish list. Oh wow. Yeah, put your website to self promo. We should do what? Who, me? I thought you were talking to Emma. So I was like, Riddler's on their website. No, I'm just oh, here, look, I'm gonna do the hang on, I'll do the things. Hold on. Socials. Okay, yeah, no, it's okay, so it's on so Rainfall is my website. The RAYNFAL. Now I do hang on. Oh, I haven't changed the Etsy link yet. Fuck. I set up a proper Etsy for like hang on. I did the thing and set up a proper Etsy page from like my craft patterns, all right? I'm gonna do. Oh fucking come on! I hate you. Let's try this. Paste. There we go. Fucking awful, just terrible Etsy link of non-shortening because those guys are idiots as well. Maybe the Ravelry guys people are idiots as well. I haven't actually posted this one on Ravelry yet because I literally just published this today. Okay. We're just an absolute we're doing so well lately. We're absolutely being competent and we're adulting successfully. We're not, I'm lying, we're absolutely not. We're just trying not to fuck everything up. Yes. So, River, I don't know if you know, I ran a craft market last week. I ran the craft market last week. I ran a craft market. I still can't fucking believe I did it. But I did it. I ran an entire fucking craft market and apparently everybody liked it. It was nice. You know? It was last Sunday. Okay? And I was absolutely fucking shattered last stream. I don't even know how long I stayed on for, and I was just like, am I gonna raid out? Nah, I'm gonna fall over. I think I stayed on for maybe like an hour and a half and complained the whole time because I was so tired. Yeah, like I just couldn't. It was ridiculous. But I did the thing and it all went off like well, and it was like an entire craft market with like we had like 15 vendors and I filled our community hall and I swear to God, I walked into the community hall on Monday, okay, and because I was going to teach my regular class to like with because I have a casual kind of drop in, you can just come in and learn how to do crochet, yeah. So I was doing that, okay, and I literally just I wandered in and walked up to the program director and a few of the other staff and the volunteers who were hanging around, and all of them were just kind of like, hey, it's the woman of the hour, and then they start applauding, and I'm just like. What? I have no idea how to react to this situation. I'm just going to stand here and nod and smile, and maybe someone will like talk. Oh, that was terrifying. I'm just saying. Like, yeah. So social anxiety and probably some measure of just like utterly being unable to deal with anything. Yeah. So I did that, and that was okay, but super uncomfortable for about like 5 minutes, and then got on to actually doing like the rest of the crochet class. I was like, yay, we did the thing, and then everybody and their dog was asking, when are you going to run the next one? Are we doing one for Christmas? What are just like what are we doing? Like, are you going to organize this? But like, we've got all these ideas. We're going to do blah 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 blah, and I'm like, oh jeez. Please, just let me sleep. I need to sleep. I would like to sleep now, please. Just like, because I've been wound up like a fucking top for like just literally wound like spring for a solid like 6 weeks pulling this shit together. Okay. And like, and bear in mind, this children was a small craft market. Small. Tiny. Yeah. This is a small craft market, all right? It was one community hall, all right? Fire, regulation limit, only 80 people allowed in here. It's not exactly huge, okay? It's literally just a large room. There were 15 vendors total. Oh, dear God. Just, it went well. We had a lot of people show up. Everybody was having fun, and that's great. It's all community organizing and done on a volunteer basis. But, like, Jesus fucking Christ, guys. I cannot organize another one of those before Christmas. Are you kidding me? Like, tiny craft market, and absolutely I lost my shit doing that for a solid 6 weeks. No, too close to Christmas. Also, I have another craft market. I'm actually going to go and be a vendor. Do you participate in Secret Santa's type stuff? I probably would if someone told me, hey, you should totally participate in Secret Santa type stuff. But I cannot guarantee that what I send for Secret Santa won't just be like, you know, whatever selection of yarn I think people would like. I have no idea. I don't know what, like, what's involved. I make bags. I make a lot of, I mostly make bags. I've been making a lot of hand warmers lately because, you know, it's the weather in Vancouver has turned into, I can only describe it as constant freezing rain. And that would, I tell you, was a bit of an abrupt change considering that 2 weeks ago it was like sunny enough for all of us to be out in t-shirts. But it's been raining now for a solid like 3 days and I expected this to continue into the winter. Yeah, so I'm making hand warmers. Normally I'm all about just making absolute tons of bags of all shapes and sizes. You know, that's just how I roll. I don't know. Anyway, you may tell me more about this Secret Santa's kind of whatever. I did miss the last event that was organised by Queen Pickle, I want to say. I'm blanking because I'm terrible at names. The person who did the Easter event. And I was like, I should have signed up for the Halloween event. It would have been fun. And I'm just like, oh, I can't do that. No, that would involve emotional energy that I totally don't have. And I can't get this stitch. Come on. There we go. So, in case anyone was wondering, right, what we're effectively doing here is, this is left and right-handed crochet, and this is kind of the big example of it. This is a very large hand warmer. And it's literally just it's a square piece. You fold it over flat, make it twice the width of your hand, seam it up the side, leave a space for your thumb, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, you're done. And there you go. And the thing about this, okay, is that this is clearly way too fucking large for my teeny ass little hands, and that's because this is one for a guy. And I asked my husband to kind of, you know, just to help eyeball it, kind of a thing. It fits him much better than it fits me, all right? But the interesting thing about it is that, like, this particular pattern is done in alternating rows of left-handed and right-handed right-handed crochet, half doubles and triples, and they're all worked kind of flat in the same direction. You can see that it has this interesting texture on one side, and then that is the wrong side, or whatever you'd like to call it. And it's a super interesting effect. Like, and I've been looking at different ways to kind of combine left and right-handed crochet in order to produce this kind of, like, you know, more interesting patterns. Because obviously crochet does not normally have a right side and a wrong side, but if you can do left-handed or right-handed crochet, you can obviously work flat from the same side and thus have a right side and a wrong side. And that, you know, produces interesting stuff like this. Oh, missing thingy-me. I'm thinking, I wonder if I try to set up my very first small raid train event for Secret Santa streamers, but gauging the interest first before putting in any effort. She's got like 7 spaces last year for the Christmas event from the 7th to the 9th. Oh, yeah, that's, yes, Picklepuss, that's her name. I was like, fucking hell, I can't remember. I'm in a Secret Santa on Artful Turkey's Discord being held by Ursa Craft. You put in info on a Google form, address, mailing list, blah, 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 and a vague wish list, and you get matched with someone and get messaged on what they wrote in the form. Oh, okay. Interesting. Do people want yarn? Because, like, I've been so busy that I'm not even sure I could get something out before Christmas. I mean, I probably could, you know? But could I? I don't know. It's like, do people want yarn? I have tons of yarn. I have an abundance of fucking good yarn. Like, some of which I give away, okay? And I told, like, so that at the craft market, I actually gave away, like, 2 garbage bags full of very nice self-striping yarn that I was never going to use myself. Just not a chance. And I'm just buggering this up. Come on. Yeah, there we go. I've got to work on that. No, it's like, I will absolutely give away yarn. I don't know if I could have anything specific that I could make for someone. I'd be afraid of someone asking for, like, a shawl, you know? And I don't know how long that would take for me to make. That would be pretty fucking nuts, I would say. Not that I wouldn't like be opposed to making a shawl for someone for Secret Santa, but like I have a bunch of, I have maybe one or two already. Maybe I give them one. I don't know. Crafters want yarn, yes, generally. I'm making a batch shawl running out of black yarn for it. Oh, okay. So I have a ton of black acrylic that I've been slowly working through. Okay. Oh god. I want it done by tomorrow. By the end of October. Oh god. Good luck. Good luck with that. You'll have to go out trick or treating with it as it is. In whatever state it is. I no idea. No, I tell you what, all right. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys a funny story, okay? And I'm sure you've all heard of the cat butt coasters. Okay. And at my knit and crochet group, the classes or whatever they teach on Mondays and Wednesdays, okay, we started having a running joke that like anytime someone had to figure out, it's like, well, what am I going to make next? I don't know, and everyone was just like, make a cat butt coaster, and I was like, well, okay, so does this mean we have to just make cat butt coasters, all of us? And everyone was just like, sure, we should totally make cat butt coasters. And I'm like, okay, then I'm going to come in next week and have a cat butt coaster. What about the rest of you? I was the only one who came in with a cat butt coaster. Everyone else was like, did you just make that freehand? And it's like, it's not rocket science, guys. And I am the teacher here. Come on. But everyone, like, there's plenty of patterns for cat. Anyway, anytime everyone starts talking about cat butts, yeah, or everyone's like, well, what should we make next? Now I have this yarn. What should I make with it? Everyone is like, make a cat butt coaster. No matter what yarn it is, make a cat butt coaster out of it somehow. And I personally do not understand why it is that cat butt coasters are popular. I think they're kind of stupid in fairness, and I just, why? It's a cat's rear end. I just don't understand it. Do I even have it here? Shit, I'm going to show you guys now. Hold on. Did I throw it into the box of random shit that I didn't want to do anything with? Oh, I'd say if I did, it's probably buried somewhere down at the bottom. Yeah, no, you know what? Fuck that. Yeah, it's like, it's buried somewhere. I gotta go and dig it out. Seriously though, someone's gonna have to explain that to me. What is the thing with the cat butts? It's not even just like a crochet thing, which maybe I could understand, because you literally just make a couple of circles and you make a pink, make a black or some other kind of cat-related color, and then add tail and 2 feet and you're done, okay? But I want someone to explain to me, what is the fucking deal with the cat butts if you're not doing crochet? Like, it's just in general, because I've seen this show up again and again with people just doing like random cute things, like they make coasters, they make little prints, or they make like, someone made like little catnip bags or whatever, and someone had like just fridge magnets, okay, that kind of stuff, of a cat butt. Someone was doing plushies, and it was literally just the ass of a cat with a little button, okay, the little button, just where the anus would be. Would someone explain this? Can someone explain to me? Am I too Irish to get this? Okay, is it just a North American thing, and I'm just missing the cultural context? Okay, like I feel like there's this is a culture clash kind of thing, because I cannot remember this being popular in Ireland. This one was inspired by the streamer's cat invading their stream space by putting the butt in the streamer's face. I, you know, all things considered, I can't even. Oh, when rating this year, that's the little, yeah, that's the emo. Because I was just thinking, like, this is a streaming thing? I thought this existed before streaming. I'm pretty sure it does. It did. It existed before streaming. But it's the emote thing that you use there and okay. Oh, God. I don't have enough bubbly for this. I'm going to go to the second can. Oh. It's going to be a good night when I have to open a second can of bubbly. Second flavor is blackberry. I keep mixing it up and saying it's black currant. It's absolutely not. Black currant's disgusting. I'm not sure why cat butts in general. I know, right? It's like just I want to know. It's just like I want to know where this trend came from, you know, because it seems incredibly incongruous. And fair enough, the internet is a font of weird and silly shit and things that absolutely make no goddamn sense. But like, if usually stuff that becomes memes has some kind of, I don't know, sense, reason, rationale, moon logic, even though it's pretty fucked up logic. And sometimes it's like, well, people can be even be in the joke just to kind of like for the lols for people being in the joke and everything. But cat butts just seems particularly fucking weird, even for the internet to become a popular thing around craft spaces. It's like suddenly the powers that be decided that this year cat butts are going to be the hot item of the craft market wherever wherever you are in the world. Or I mean, for all I know, it literally is just a Vancouver thing. I don't know. This town is incredibly strange sometimes. But I can remember seeing this in craft markets a few years ago, and it's just like there was fucking cat butts everywhere, and people were doing just the most just there like, and people were absolutely like buying the cat butt stuff. So I definitely started to question whether this is just like something that I'm just not. I've got a hair there. I'm not culturally equipped to understand, being as aggressively Irish as I am, um, or, or I don't know. Maybe it's all a giant conspiracy. Maybe it's the cat butt conspiracy. Okay, in my knitting crochet group or whatever, it's literally just a joke at this point because we all think that it's funny that, if someone wants to know what to do with the yarn, let's all just say it's make cat butts because why not, I just, I want to know the answer. I feel like this is important information. And I'm probably going to be thinking about it later. I'm not even going to lie. Okay, that's that wrong. Okay, so we're still alternating. Yeah. And funnily enough, all right, I have done some pattern like this, all right, in a few different variations, trying to kind of figure out like what would actually work and what doesn't. And I found that the foundation chain just does not work for some stuff. Like it's like the like for some stitches, like I tried working like a shell stitch going across, and I found that like the foundation chain, just the tension did not work for some reason. Like doing the shell stitch on top of a foundation chain just instantly failed because the stuff started to curve very, very badly. Like this, you just kind of stretch it out and it's fine. I did notice that it leans a little bit depending on which way the stitches go, because obviously the trebles in one hand will lean more than the half double crochets in the other hand. But that's neither here nor there. That's just something that can be fixed if you just like seam it together and stick it on somebody's hand for 5 minutes. That's okay. Like this was something that was very obviously wrong, and I actually originally worked this yarn in that kind of stitch. It was started with this long foundation chain, and then had shells going back and forth. And again, I was alternating my hands because I'm just taking advantage of the fact that I can crochet with both hands in order to produce interesting patterns on flat pieces. And what I found is that like literally the tension just did not work. I frogged the whole thing, and I will probably come back to it at some point and kind of consider what else I'm going to do with it. But like in the meantime, I got to come up with some other way of like doing that shell stitch start, because I kind of assumed that like using the foundation chain was going to be the way to go. And I think probably not at this case. Like I would normally use a foundation chain simply because it gives me a neat edge when I need to seam something together on the other side. Like if I'm making a tube like this from a flat piece, it's really useful to have a foundation chain that has a very easy to match. Like because if you have a foundation chain, and if you start by crocheting on the underside of it, then you now have this nice edge that matches up with the top edge, which means you seam them together, you literally just fold them over, and it's really easy to match up the stitches, And it makes it so that you're less likely to essentially make mistakes when you actually come time to seaming one of these together, and that's really important. But like, I don't know, it's like, I was absolutely questioning, like, why does this not working the way that I think it's going to work? And yeah, I don't know. It's another thing I was thinking about. I even actually made another set of warmers using moss stitch, and that used a foundation chain similar to that, like what I have here. And that also had the wrong tension. It actually had, the tension was far too loose. And I can only think that that's just a very slight difference in the length of the chain versus a single crochet, at least when I'm working them. And it's not something that would be incredibly obvious, I think, like, because the first kind of a foundation chain is more like an actual stitch as opposed to just a chain. Like if you start with a chain, it's got variable tension. It should work quite well, kind of well off of anything. It's just a pain in the bollocks to work that first row. But like if you do an actual foundation chain, it's more like an actual set of stitches with actual tension. And if the tension doesn't match, then obviously you got one row that has the wrong tension, basically. And that's what I found with the moss stitch that I did with that foundation row. It just did not line up. Like I definitely saw the difference when it got time to actually finishing those hand warmers. Anyway, I was testing another stitch, and it was basically just moss stitch, and I was looking at again left and right handed stuff. But that was just like, well, well, there you go. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you just gotta test the thing and hope that you're right. And I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. I'm right, not as often as you might think, you know. And occasionally I just completely ball something up and have to go back and frog everything, which I think is, it's whatever, it's a thing. Anyway, River, if you're still there, I think I would be interested in doing a Secret Santa thing because it would at least get me off my ass and actually doing something. I would just need to make sure that whatever it is that it would get posted before like December, because I'll be heading back to Ireland for a little bit over Christmas, and that would just be like I don't know if I'm going to. I'm not going to be in Vancouver for Christmas, so whatever I get, it's going to probably not get until the new year. Yeah, it's fine. It'd be nice though. I definitely would like to share some of my yarn with the world because I have far too much of it. Am I fucking this up and putting in singles and no? Am I? 1, 2, 3. No, okay. No. I thought for a second I was just like muscle memory had taken over and I was doing doubles instead of triples, and that of course would be a fucking disaster. I tell you, I'm just not entirely. Wait a second. What time is it? 10:46. There you go. There's your problem. It's fine. We're just going to continue for a little bit. I'm going to at least finish this row and then we can talk about whether we're going to raid somebody or whether we're just going to kind of fuck around for the night. And because again, it is Sunday night. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing here watching me do crochet, but like it is already bullshit o'clock here in the Pacific Northwest. And I don't know how interested I am, in fairness. Because like what? It's 10:46. Why the fuck is everyone here in like another time zone? Or if you're also in the Pacific Northwest, what are you still doing up? It's Monday morning tomorrow, and it's also Halloween. It's the witching hour or whatever. And I should really sign up for the Santa Raid Train event because it would give me an opportunity to do another one of those weird little game quiz, whatchamacallits. Yeah, there you go. Message me about the Secret Santa stuff or whatever. I'm thinking, like, if I sign up for Picklepus's a Christmas raid train event, I've got to actually sit down and do another one of those weird little like, oh god, what was it, the game I did with the Easter Bunny and the other raid train event, the one in Easter, where like people were just like you'd start by like the first command, and you get like it was so much fun, but it was a lot of work, and it's a fun game to do. It just it's really takes a lot of just trying to figure it all out and then make it interesting, because there's only a limit to what the responses can be for those commands. You can't just put like entire paragraphs or novels in there or whatever. There is like an upper limit on how many words you can, characters you can type and stuff. And for anyone who doesn't know, I was at a raid train event over Easter, and the way that I ran this kind of little like it was like a little game where I gave everyone in chat the first command, and once they typed it into chat, like the first response came up, which is the Easter Bunny appears out of nowhere and invites them into his house, and then they have to go through each room looking for stuff and following the kind of the clues left in the commands, and then find all the Easter eggs basically, and every time they go into a room, the commands would tell, like they could put in the name of like a room, like I don't know, like exclamation mark music room or something, and it would pop up a command that would tell them a little bit about the room, and then like tell them there would be stuff highlighted with like words highlighted with exclamation marks that they could type into chat to get more clues about where the where the Easter eggs were. And then as soon as they figured out what the right word to put with a command to like where the Easter egg to to find an Easter egg, then the Easter egg would actually it would actually pop up saying, oh, you find like you get the little thing that says, oh, the Easter egg is here. I have buggered this up. God damn it, I don't think that's oh my god. I don't think that's a triple. I think that's fuck, I added a double at the back. Ah! I added a double. Right. Hang on. I gotta back the bus up. I knew I was doing it. God damn you. Alright. I'll do this again. These are all triples. This is what this is when I get distracted and tired. This is what happens. Oh, okay. I honestly don't know what kind of a theme thing I could do for Santa or whatever. I don't know how that would work. I don't know. I'll have to have a think about it. If she's only got like time slots left that are just like really annoying or impossible to work, then I don't know how I can do it. But I don't know. I'll take a look. The raid train events are lots of fun, and I mean terrifying. Don't get me wrong, but lots of fun. Just I think we had something like 50 people in my stream, and I was like, what the fuck, people? All right, I'm definitely getting tired. We're going to finish this and then I'm going to go to bed. And I don't even know if I'm going, like, I've got to get better about actually going and raiding people. I'm kind of tired now. I don't want to raid. Like, I pick the worst time slots for actually streaming simply because on a Sunday night, there's practically nobody on because everybody's tired and prepping for Monday. And I'm also tired. And I hate just raiding and running. It's not nice. So, yep. Same as before, I'd like to one of my own if that's much smaller, like 5 people, 10 max, and I haven't had a clue where I start. I mean, I'm sure that if you just like get people to sign up and then we run a little raid train kind of thing, it'll be fun. And even if you do it for like, you could just do it for shits and giggles. I don't know. Doesn't have to be something like huge or whatever. Oh, come on. Gotta do the thing. All right. I feel like I've done like a ton of work today. I haven't really. I literally just got together the pattern that I've been threatening to do for how long now and just actually finally published the thing. I really got to just go start putting more patterns up. And then actually doing some kind of significant marketing for them, which I also don't do because that would involve being competent, and clearly that bus has sailed. I know what I said. I will say, however, is that I will I'll weave in the ends on this monstrosity. It can be Frank's bed or whatever. I should probably put something under him anyway, because otherwise he's just kind of essentially just, he's obviously like that, and I don't want him to scratch my desk. God knows he doesn't care about not scratching my desk. Oh my god, I'm still doing the thing. See, the brain goes into autopilot, alright? Muscle memory and all the other shit, and it's like I know that if I only put one loop on the hook, that I will just forget and do a double, not a triple, okay? Now the problem is that when you crochet as much as I do, your brain just automatically goes like, oh yeah, we're doing doubles because we're always doing doubles. You should do doubles right now. And that point, then I put a single loop on, and then the hands just kind of like, oh yeah, we're doing the thing, double, and obviously down that way lies madness. And here's where we're at now. But I think I've managed to get this all done without actually making terrible mistakes about the stitches. I think these are all triples. And the yarn is like, is there a reason you're coiling up on me? Or are you just doing this for what? Not even the yarn is on my side tonight. What the hell is this? Like, it's okay, well, I bet you this stuff is being a bad influence. Would not be surprised. I'm totally not going to have enough to actually finish these hand warmers. So someone may be getting a hand warmer and half a hand warmer for Christmas. And I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll just have to frog one of them or something. I don't know. This is why I should really just work two hand warmers at the same time. Oh god, ridiculous. Oh my god, look at me. Yeah, I'm tired. Okay, all right. So that's where we're at. One, and I think I'll be lucky to get a second one out of it. But you know what? We gotta have a go because why not? I don't know. It's 10. It's 5 to 11. I'm calling it here. Oh. Oh shit! I am tired. Okay, well, thank you very much for hanging out, guys. Do appreciate it, as you all know. Yeah, I mean, I guess we should. Yeah, River, suggest someone I can go and raid. I'll raid run just for the hell of it if you want. I'll raid you if you're going online. I don't care. I'm so tired. I'm more tired than I think I am. I did actually get my COVID booster shot a few days ago. I got it on Wednesday, and I spent all of Thursday sleeping. It was it was a whole thing. Just no, it was terrible. Yeah. Okay. Let's see who's online. Let's just take a quick look. And I don't want to rate Snow Peep because I'm constantly annoying her. And oh no, they're not on. She's not on. I thought she's gone again. Okay, what happened? Not following. Come on. Oh my god, I fucking hate a lot of it. And I don't know why Amaranth keeps getting recommended to me. I cannot imagine why. Like, I don't know if I've ever showed any kind of interest in Amaranth. I just don't get it. It's strange. Bullets punch. Oh dear God, dude. Sorry, man. You've actually caught it. You've caught me in a bad time. I'm just about to end stream. I'm just looking to see who we can raid. Snoring cats online. Oh, I don't want to go bug her as well. I know she goes super late. But I don't like raiding and running because she's so nice, and I'm really too tired to stick around. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm right. I'm super tired. They usually these streams. Yeah, sorry guys. Yep, I've been on for about 2 hours now and I'm shattered. This has been a very long week anyway. But it's for brunch. Sorry about this. I'm afraid you caught me just as I'm going offline. I'm normally doing a lot of crochet and I've done a lot of crochet tonight and some of it was not fun. Anyway, thanks very much for hanging out, guys. I'll catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, more or less. 9 p.m. PST is usually when I am on. I am always doing some kind of crochet. There's always significant amounts of swearing and sometimes a lot of bullshitting about vintage items and whatnot. Anyway, have a good night. Have a good week. Sleep more than I do. Have a good night. Later, guys.